What if what you call marijuana is not simply a mere substance, but a name given to it to make you accept it without question? Have you ever wondered why you've so easily accepted this common name without further inquiry into its origins or purpose? The truth is, what is commonly known as marijuana is not just a plant with psychoactive properties. It has been called spirit by many cultures, reflecting its true purpose, a key to unlocking spiritual potential, personal power, and a deeper understanding of your connection to the divine. The term spirit isn't some modern invention, but an ancient designation that speaks to its use in sacred rituals, where it was employed not for recreational or medical purposes alone, but as a gateway to higher states of consciousness. Most of what you understand about marijuana is incomplete or intentionally distorted, a constructed reality presented to you by societal narratives that often mask the deepest truths. Consider how the mainstream perception of marijuana, often depicted in negative news headlines and fear-mongering campaigns, stands in stark contrast to its presence in ancient shamanic rituals and esoteric traditions. This duality is not accidental. The understanding of the true nature of this plant is directly connected to your own spiritual potential, a pathway to understanding your true self and your connection to the divine. It's not merely about a plant, it's about personal liberation. The suppression of this knowledge has had far-reaching effects, limiting human potential and creating a profound disconnect from natural wisdom that has been known and practiced since the dawn of time. The lost potential, the suppressed abilities, the veil over the truth, all these are consequences of a narrative designed to keep you unaware. The knowledge needed to understand marijuana, or as many call it, spirit, cannot be found in mainstream education, but rather through exploring hidden histories and esoteric practices, the lost traditions of secret societies and hidden schools that guarded this wisdom for millennia. The misinformation you've been given is not accidental. It's a part of a control mechanism designed to maintain societal structures, while its true nature offers a path towards liberation. What if you have been given a key to freedom, but the key was made to seem like a problem? Consider the ancient Hindus, who employed cannabis in their sacred Soma rituals, or the Scythians, whose ritualistic use was meticulously documented by Herodotus. This plant was not demonized, but revered as a spiritual tool. In reality, every substance, including what you call marijuana, is merely a neutral element that takes on the characteristics and power of the user's intention. It is neither inherently good nor bad, but a blank slate molded by the consciousness behind its use. To understand its true essence, you must delve into ancient esoteric texts, alchemical principles, and spiritual traditions that have been deliberately obscured. These hidden perspectives, these lost arts and sciences, offer essential keys to understanding the nature of reality and human consciousness, revealing a deeper context that most are not even aware exists. We will constantly juxtapose the mainstream narrative with ancient and esoteric perspectives, showcasing how negative viewpoints contrast directly with historical practices that represent positive, empowering applications, a pattern that will serve as a guiding light throughout our exploration. Why has this knowledge been suppressed? Why has the term spirit been lost? And why has the true nature of this plant been hidden from you? What purpose does this misinformation serve? The term spirit has deep alchemical and esoteric implications, a hidden understanding of its transformative potential, and hints at a method of unlocking human potential by understanding its true nature. Throughout this journey, we will reveal how various cultures, across time, employed this plant to achieve altered states of consciousness, connecting with the divine and unveiling a recurring pattern that transcends cultures and eras. And ultimately, we will provide concrete methods for using this knowledge intentionally as a tool for self-discovery and personal growth, shifting the narrative from confusion to empowerment. The term spirit, as it applies to marijuana, is far from arbitrary. It is a deliberate designation rooted in ancient mystery schools and alchemical traditions, reflecting a profound understanding of the plant's true nature. It is not just a coincidental name, but a symbolic representation of the plant's capacity to alter consciousness and facilitate spiritual transmutation. Names in esoteric thought are not merely labels, but are keys that unlock hidden metaphysical properties. To name something is to define its essence, its purpose, and its potential. The ancients, particularly within hermetic and alchemical circles, understood the power of nomenclature and chose the term spirit for this plant with full awareness of its transformative capabilities. They understood that what is called Mare-Wunna possesses an active, living essence, a spirit as capable of bridging the gap between the material and the immaterial. Just as alchemists sought to transmute base metals into gold, so too did they seek to transmute human consciousness. This plant was seen as a catalyst, capable of turning the lead of everyday awareness into the gold of enlightenment, the chaos of the mind into the order of true understanding. This alchemical perspective viewed all matter as imbued with spirit, a life force that could be manipulated and directed, and spirit was seen as a unique facilitator of this process. This knowledge, however, was not for the masses, but was kept secret within esoteric circles, entrusted only to initiates who understood its profound implications. The hidden nature of this knowledge stems from the understanding that power, when improperly wielded, can be destructive, and such a powerful tool could not be in the hands of the uninitiated or those without the appropriate understanding. Consider the mystery schools of ancient Egypt, the Hermetic societies of Greece, and the alchemical orders of medieval Europe. These were all secret societies which guarded knowledge related to spiritual transformation. These groups understood the potent nature of certain substances and practices and concealed them from the general public, ensuring their wisdom was utilized only by those who were prepared for its power. The knowledge was hidden because it contained the keys to liberation, and those in power wanted to maintain the control that ignorance provides. The fact that what you call Mare-Wunna was named spirit is not a modern fabrication, but a reflection of an ancient, esoteric understanding, a term used to define its true purpose and potential. And if we examine the terminology used by different cultures, we find a common thread that ties them together. The Hindus, for example, referred to it as siddhi, which translates to spiritual perfection or supernatural power, and it was viewed as a method for achieving spiritual insight and mystical experiences. The Scythians, as documented by Herodotus, used it in rituals to connect with the otherworld and the spirits of their ancestors, a practice that indicates a profound understanding of its capacity to transcend ordinary consciousness. These examples highlight a consistent thread. Across disparate cultures and time periods, this plant was recognized as having spiritual significance, far beyond its common perception today. This is in stark contrast to the modern, often fear-based, narrative that focuses on the negative impacts of Mare-Wunna while ignoring these deeper and very real spiritual applications. The historical examples of the spiritual use of Mare-Wunna are numerous, and each one further illustrates the profound understanding that ancient cultures had about its potential. The Hindu use of bhang, a preparation of cannabis, in religious ceremonies is a clear example of its recognized spiritual significance. It is used to honor Shiva, the god of destruction and transformation, and is seen as a means to achieve a state of ecstatic union with the divine. The use of cannabis was not limited to a single sect, but spread across Hindu culture for thousands of years. Consider the ancient texts that speak of its use by sages and holy men seeking enlightenment, demonstrating a clear understanding of its power to alter consciousness and facilitate profound spiritual experiences. Similarly, the Scythian rituals, as described by Herodotus, involved the use of cannabis in purification rites and burial ceremonies, where they used the smoke to enter altered states of consciousness, enabling them to communicate with the spirits of the dead, reinforcing the idea that this plant is a bridge between worlds. This was not some recreational activity, but a deliberate effort to gain access to hidden realms and powerful knowledge. These historical uses were not isolated events, but examples of widespread traditions and practices that spanned continents and millennia, illustrating a consistent recognition of the plant's capacity to induce spiritual insights. Shamans and medicine men around the world also used Mare-Wunna extensively in their rituals, as a method for divination, healing, and connection with the spirit world. In these traditions, the plant was considered a sacred tool, a key to accessing non-ordinary states of consciousness, allowing them to perceive and interact with energies and entities invisible to the ordinary eye. Shamans used it to journey to other realms, to communicate with spirit guides, to diagnose illnesses, and to bring about healing, both physical and spiritual. For them, Mare-Wunna was not just another plant, but a sacred ally, a conduit for the flow of divine energy, a medicine that transcended the material and touched the spirit. This contrasts starkly with modern portrayals of Mare-Wunna as a dangerous substance, a portrayal that has been crafted by those who want to keep its spiritual potential hidden. The current stigmatization of Mare-Wunna is a sharp departure from the respect and sacredness with which it was regarded in ancient traditions. What you see in the media negative headlines, moral panic, and fear-based propaganda is a manufactured narrative that deliberately obscures the truth and hides the true power of this plant. This calculated demonization has a clear purpose, which is to maintain control by suppressing the very tools that could lead to liberation. These historical practices and beliefs have been actively suppressed and demonized by forces seeking to maintain control over both knowledge and consciousness, and this suppression is no accident. The demonization of Mare-Wunna has served as a deliberate tool for social and political control, a mechanism designed to suppress countercultural movements and limit independent thought. The war on drugs and its disproportionate targeting of Mare-Wunna is not simply a matter of public health, but a deliberate action by those in power to control populations and maintain the status quo. Consider the countercultural movements of the 1960s, where the use of Mare-Wunna was a symbol of rebellion, and questioning authority, the powers that be responded with a harsh crackdown, using fear and misinformation to control the narrative. This was not just about controlling the substance itself, but controlling the free-thinking individuals who used it and therefore posed a threat to the established order. Fear and misinformation were, and continue to be, the primary tools used to stigmatize Mare-Wunna. Propaganda campaigns, often based on pseudoscience and outright lies, were created and disseminated to create a climate of fear. This prevented people from discovering the plant's true potential and its ability to be used for self-discovery and spiritual growth. The intent behind these campaigns is not to protect people, but to control them, and that control is dependent on the continued ignorance about the truth of spirit. This suppression is not just about controlling one plant, it is about controlling the consciousness of the people and limiting access to tools that can be used for liberation. The suppression of Mare-Wunna is part of a larger pattern, an intentional effort to keep people disconnected from their spiritual nature, thus maintaining a materialistically driven society. This suppression is aimed at controlling not only Mare-Wunna, but other powerful tools for self-transformation and connection with the divine. Any substance or practice that can lead to self-awareness and inner power is often targeted and suppressed. The true reason for the demonization of Mare-Wunna is to keep you disconnected from your spiritual self, and instead focused on the material world. A materialistic-driven society is one that is much easier to control, and that control is broken when individuals have access to knowledge and methods that lead to inner power. What would happen if everyone realized the potential they possessed within themselves, What if everyone could access higher states of consciousness at will? The current system would be threatened, which is why this knowledge has been hidden and why spirit was demonized and replaced with the term Mare-Wunna, a word that carries none of its deeper implications. But the truth is, Mare-Wunna, like any substance or technology, is neutral. Its effects are greatly amplified by the user's intent and consciousness. It is not inherently good or bad, but simply a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for construction or destruction. The effects of a tool depend on the one wielding it, not the tool itself. This key concept is critical for understanding the true potential of Mare-Wunna and using it effectively, for ultimately, the power lies within the individual. It is time to shift from viewing Mare-Wunna as a dangerous drug to viewing it as a powerful tool, capable of transforming consciousness when used consciously. The conscious use of Mare-Wunna can be transformative when combined with mindful consumption. Approach it with intention, not as a mindless pastime or a means of escape. Engage in ritual, meditation, and contemplation, allowing the experience to become a journey of self-discovery rather than just a fleeting moment of altered perception. The way you use Mare-Wunna determines its effect. When used with clear intention, Mare-Wunna can become a powerful tool for self-reflection, deeper understanding, and spiritual connection. Engage in practices like meditation, journaling, and contemplation during the experience. This focus transforms the session from a simple altered state to a gateway for self-discovery. You can write down your thoughts, explore your inner world, and connect with your subconscious mind, all with the assistance of this powerful tool. The conscious use of Mare-Wunna can be viewed as an alchemical process, where the user's intention transmutes the substance into a catalyst for personal transformation and self-discovery. You are not a passive participant in this process, but the active alchemist, directing the energy and the experience towards a higher purpose. You are transmuting not just the substance, but your own consciousness, transforming the lead of ignorance into the gold of understanding. This process highlights the importance of individual agency, because it reinforces the idea that you are not just a victim of circumstance, but a powerful creator of your reality. Therefore, the stigma associated with Mare-Wunna is not only inaccurate, but is also a trap designed to keep you from experiencing its true potential. The narratives of fear, dependency, and harm are a deliberate distraction from the plant's capacity to facilitate deep personal growth and connection with the divine. The key to truly understanding the nature of what you call Mare-Wunna is a shift in perspective, from that of a stigmatized substance to that of a potential spiritual tool, an ancient ally that has been hidden in plain sight. We have shown that understanding the true nature of this plant requires a willingness to question everything you thought you knew about Mare-Wunna, and to instead approach it with an open mind, exploring its potential as a vehicle for spiritual exploration. The journey is not just about understanding the history and the esoteric connections of the plant, but also about recognizing your own capacity to use it consciously as a tool for liberation. And in upcoming sections, we will explore the methods to achieve altered states of consciousness and specific techniques for connecting with the divine using this powerful tool. And we will go into great detail about the precise practices that can help you unlock its full potential. Remember that the choice to explore this knowledge and to use it consciously is ultimately yours, and you are free to choose whether to continue living in ignorance or to step onto the path of understanding. You have within you the power to reclaim your own consciousness, the power to create your own reality, and that is ultimately the most important lesson. And so the journey through the annals of history, the secret pathways of esoteric traditions, and the very nature of what you call Mare-Wunna has been to reveal its core identity. It is not just another plant. It is a tool, a key, a method for spiritual exploration and profound transformation when it is approached with clear intention and a deep sense of purpose. This has been the answer to the questions we posed at the beginning, the reason it was called spirit. The very name, far from being accidental, accurately reflects its capacity to unlock higher states of consciousness and expand the boundaries of perception. This plant, whose very essence has been deliberately obscured by fear and misinformation, now stands revealed for what it truly is, a sacred tool for those willing to see beyond the manufactured illusions of mainstream culture. The negative connotations, the fear-based narratives that have surrounded this plant are not founded on truth, but on carefully constructed deceptions designed to keep its power hidden from those who might seek liberation. What has been branded as a dangerous drug by those who seek to maintain control is now understood as a facilitator of spiritual growth, something recognized for millennia by cultures that revered it for its profound spiritual properties, its ability to reconnect individuals with their divine nature. The esoteric understanding of Mare-Wunna as spirit was never just a cultural belief or an abstract concept, but a practical key to unlocking higher levels of consciousness, accessing spiritual abilities, and understanding the hidden dimensions of reality. This knowledge was not intended for the masses, as it was seen as a potent force that could be misused or misunderstood by those who lacked the necessary understanding and intention. This was not simply about suppressing the use of one plant, but about a systematic pattern of controlling knowledge, limiting access to the tools that could lead to personal freedom and spiritual independence, and the ability to see beyond the illusions of the material world. This understanding is about far more than just this one plant. This is about a deep pattern of concealing truth and keeping populations dependent and powerless. Therefore, your perspective must now shift. You must now understand that the common perception of what you call Mare-Wunna is not its true nature. It is a manufactured concept. You must now see that it is not simply a recreational substance, but a sacred tool for self-discovery, personal empowerment, and profound spiritual awakening, something the ancients knew well and sought to keep hidden. This knowledge must now be placed within a larger and far more significant context. The suppression of Mare-Wunna's spiritual use is not an isolated event, but a single thread in a much larger tapestry of control that seeks to limit human consciousness and curtails spiritual evolution. Throughout history, any practice, substance, or teaching that has promised self-empowerment and a direct connection with the divine has faced similar suppression. This pattern of concealment is not a matter of coincidence, but a deliberate strategy to keep humanity from realizing its true potential. The rediscovery of Mare-Wunna's true purpose, its ancient designation as spirit, signifies a crucial turning point. It signals a return to the wisdom of the ancients and a clear rejection of the systems that prioritize control over freedom, dependence over liberation, and ignorance over self-mastery. This is far more than simply a re-evaluation of a plant. It is an active reclaiming of agency, a recognition of the inherent right to self-exploration, and the unwavering pursuit of one's own divine nature. It is a call to break free from the shackles of externally imposed beliefs and to embrace the profound journey of inner discovery. Therefore, understanding and using what you call Mare-Wunna with conscious intent becomes an act of spiritual rebellion, a refusal to accept the limitations imposed by forces that seek to maintain power over the masses. This is not about blindly adopting a new practice, but about choosing to step onto a path of self-discovery, actively seeking experiences and deeper truths for yourself. When you make a conscious choice to explore the depths of your inner world and connect with the divine, you are actively challenging the forces that have sought to control you. This understanding, this specific situation, serves as a potent microcosm for understanding how power structures operate, how hidden truths can be concealed and manipulated, and how personal exploration and authentic inquiry can reveal the deeper reality behind the illusions. The journey through ancient cultures, esoteric practices, and alchemical principles culminates in the realization that the true power of what you call Mare-Wunna lies not in the plant itself, but in its ability to amplify the user's intention, to open portals of perception, and to facilitate the experience of expanded consciousness. The plant itself is nothing but a tool, and the power resides within the consciousness of the one wielding it. The conscious, intentional use of spirit is therefore a powerful act of reclaiming personal sovereignty, shattering the chains of societal conditioning and rejecting programmed limitations. You are not a victim of circumstance, but a creator of your own reality. By using this plant mindfully, with the intention of self-discovery, you transform a simple act into a profound journey of self-mastery and spiritual liberation. The act of reclaiming the true nature of this plant is a personal act of self-determination, breaking free from limiting belief systems and stepping into a new paradigm of freedom and autonomy. The suppression of Mare-Wunna, the reason for its demonization, was to keep individuals disconnected from their inner power, making them far easier to control and manipulate. However, while this suppression was a real force, it is not one that has any power over you. The true power, the ability to change your perception, and the capacity to reclaim your spiritual nature and potential has always resided within you. You are the ultimate creator of your own reality, and the key to unlocking it has been present all along. Now, what other hidden knowledge has been suppressed, and what other tools and practices are available to further enhance your consciousness? What other methods exist to connect with the divine and to unlock the dormant abilities that lie within you? The implications of understanding and reclaiming hidden knowledge extend far beyond the realm of personal transformation. They carry the potential to create a more conscious and empowered society, one where individuals are not bound by fear and limitation, but are free to explore the depths of their inner world. Therefore, I invite you to share your thoughts, experiences, and insights in the comments section, creating a vibrant community of shared learning and further discovery. This journey is not meant to end here. It is but the beginning of a much larger exploration, and there are still many more depths to plumb and many more truths to uncover. In future videos, we will delve even deeper into other suppressed spiritual practices, uncover yet more hidden knowledge, and provide you with practical methods for self-mastery. For this journey of discovery is an endless one, and the possibilities are infinite. We will explore advanced techniques for entering altered states of consciousness, delve deeper into the mysteries of the mind, and reveal specific methods for connecting with the divine.